Are you chanting that you are a 100 crore earner while looking in a mirror? With closed eyes, you might see a luxury penthouse in Mumbai and a shiny Porsche. It feels like your entire life will magically transform starting tomorrow morning. But opening your banking app instantly shatters that sweet, comforting illusion. Instead of crores, a tiny balance stares back as you squeeze into a local train. You start blaming yourself, wondering if your positive energy was simply too weak. But the real issue is not a lack of desire or cosmic alignment. You have fallen into a trap called the curse of the mental penthouse. Believing that visualization alone brings success keeps you stuck in a hard reality. Our brains are surprisingly simple and easily mistake vivid dreams for real achievements. Because the brain believes you're already rich, it releases easy dopamine. This biological trick makes you sit back and feel completely satisfied with nothing. Why would you do the hard work when you already own everything in your head? This sweet imagination paralyzes the actual drive to learn new skills or take risks. These daily affirmations act as a painkiller, keeping you asleep in a fantasy. It is time to check out of that imaginary room and face the real world. Think about what you do first when you decide to change your entire life. Most people open a new diary or a notes app around 11 p.m. You write down a perfect schedule, starting with a 5 a.m. wake-up call. Just listing these massive goals gives you a sudden rush of pure satisfaction. Go to sleep feeling like a brand new person who can conquer anything. But when the alarm rings the next morning, that burning passion is completely gone. You repeatedly hit the snooze button with a heavy body and mind. You end up barely rushing out the door, repeating the exact same routine. This failure is not because of weak willpower or a lack of desire. The real reason you did not act lies in a hidden mental error. Psychologist Peter Galwitzer called this the intention-behavior gap. Your brain is playing a very clever trick on your daily actions. When you write down beautiful plans, the brain releases a flood of dopamine. This is the reward hormone meant for actual, hard-won physical achievements. Our brain cannot easily separate detailed planning from real physical action. Without moving a single toe, your mind feels like it accomplished everything. It gives you a premature reward, leaving you with zero drive tomorrow. If you have a better personal tip than this video, please share below. Do not forget to subscribe and hit like to help us grow together. This mental trap is scientifically known as the illusion of progress. Color-coding your diary makes you feel incredibly productive and organized. But in reality, you have not moved forward by even 1 millimeter. You waste all your mental energy on a perfect paper simulation. This leaves you completely exhausted before the actual work even begins. Have you ever announced your big new goals to your close friends? Studies show that sharing your plans actually decreases your chance of success. Their instant praise tricks your brain into celebrating a victory too early. You feel the satisfaction of succeeding before doing any real work. This social feedback loop acts as a silent sleeping pill for ambition. We must escape this cycle of relying on cheap, imaginary rewards. To break this loop, we often buy a brand new, expensive diary. We draw straight lines and write down a rigid, perfect timetable. But a tiny delay of 17 minutes completely ruins the entire day. You immediately give up, deciding to start fresh next Monday instead. This reaction is a defense mechanism rooted in our deep perfectionism. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz proved this with a famous animal experiment. Dopamine spiked when a light turned on, not when receiving the treat. The brain is driven by anticipation rather than the actual reward itself. This explains why planning feels so much better than executing the task. Psychologists call this sudden surrender the what the hell effect. A single slip-up makes you throw away the entire week's effort. We use perfectionism as a shield to avoid the pain of trying. It is much easier to blame a ruined schedule than our own limits. To escape this trap, we must lower our standards to the ground. Author James Clear suggests using a simple 2-minute rule. Shrink your daily goals until they take almost no physical effort. Instead of running, make your goal just tying your running shoes. Once you tie them, you naturally take a few steps outside. An imperfect action beats a perfect dream every single time. Ryder and Lamont champions the power of a messy first draft. Even the most successful creators start with incredibly bad work. They write terrible lines just to get something on the page. This simple technique cuts off the brain's demand for perfection. It allows you to build momentum without feeling constant anxiety. Once you start, a powerful psychological mechanism takes over. The Zygarnik effect makes the brain hate leaving things unfinished. An incomplete task creates a mild tension you want to resolve. By writing one bad sentence, you feel driven to write another. The hardest part is simply starting that very first messy step. But even after starting, you will face a silent plateau. You exercise and work hard, yet nothing seems to change. Your bank balance and your physical health look exactly the same. This quiet phase is where most people lose hope and quit. The brain whispers that your small efforts are completely useless. This sudden resistance is actually called an extinction burst. Your brain throws a massive tantrum to demand easy dopamine. It intensifies your cravings right before the old habit breaks. If you can survive this peak, your mind finally surrenders. Understanding this mechanism helps you push through the darkest days. We must realize that action always comes before real motivation. Think of an old water pump in a quiet village courtyard. You must pour in some priming water and pump hard first. Only after heavy physical effort does the clean water rush out. Waiting for inspiration is like waiting for a dry pump. That is why consistent, unglamorous action is the only way. Real drive is built through friction, not comfortable daydreaming. Stop waiting for a spark and start moving your hands. The quiet part is that a single small step changes everything. True progress is made in the dirt, not in a penthouse. Now, let us take the first real step right now. Physically flip your phone face down on the desk immediately. Stand up and do just one single, imperfect physical task. This tiny physical action breaks the spell of fake dopamine. The next chapter of your life begins with this movement.